thank you very much for having me this morning. It's a pleasure to be here. And the first thing I want to do before we start is commend you on waking up this early. That is the sign of dedicated traders, and it really is a very positive sign because it's a sign of success. People who are willing to become educated traders have a greater likelihood of eventual profitability and being successful in this profession. So I commend all of you on your effort for just being here today. And as Woody Allen is famous for saying, half of life is just showing up. So the fact that you've shown up, that's wonderful. All right, let's go ahead and begin our presentation. I have some interesting things to share with you. Market profile in many ways today is sort of at the same state that candlesticks were about 30 years ago, or maybe 40 years ago. Not many people know about them. People are still somewhat dubious. What is this about, and how can it really help me, and so on. I will tell you, though, that it is by far the most powerful analytical tool available on the market today. And I will demonstrate for you this power this morning. Now, before we begin, we do have to review the disclaimer, and this one is somewhat extensive, so I hope you will take a moment to read it. I will highlight for you some of the key aspects on it, that this session is really for educational purposes only, and not intended as trading or investing advice. You should also be aware that trading and investing involve high levels of risk, and future results can be dramatically different from the opinions expressed in this course, and past performance does not guarantee future performance. Now, since by background I am, in fact, an educator, I find that one of the best ways to learn is to ask questions. And so I will begin by asking you some very important questions. You are embarking on trading, and one key question is, what is the purpose of financial markets? Why do these financial markets exist? Can anyone help me with that? To make money. For whom to make money? For you to make money? I'm sorry? Market maker. Okay, for the market maker to make money. What else? To find a fair price.
To fund the economy.
To fund the academy? Oh, to fund the economy. Okay. A lot of interesting responses. Yes? Liquidity. Thank you. What else? The purpose of the market really is the free flow of capital, to facilitate the exchange of capital. And that's always why you will hear them referred to as the capital markets. The idea behind all of the financial markets is really to facilitate the flow of capital in the economy. Now, once we understand that, we can then begin to understand some of the dynamics of the market. In order for the market to facilitate the flow of capital, it does need two very important criteria that it has to meet. One, it needs to be liquid, and two, it needs to be efficient. If those things are not working in the market is not working effectively. So keep that in the back of your mind. But the market is not there, for any one particular entity to make money. Yes, there are people that make money in the market, but that's not the purpose of the market. All right, another key question. Is market activity random? No, then yes. All right. Well, if market activity was really random, then we should just call it a day and not worry about it, and there wouldn't be much that anybody could do. Now, I will submit to you that given the amount of capital that is exchanged in the financial markets, it would be ludicrous of anyone to assume that the markets are random. No one would risk those kinds of amounts of money, and we're talking hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars on something that's random. They might as well just come to Vegas and call Vegas the capital market. They just throw money away. Markets are not random. There is order, there's structure. The fact that some people do not understand that does not make the market random. But there is a definite order and structure to the market. And you will see and you will observe today this order and structure with precision when I demonstrate to you how the profile is used. All right, my last and third question for our startup is, how do different market participants influence price movement? Well, first of all, we have to know who the market participants are. Once we can identify those participants, then we can begin to understand how they influence the market. And it's very important to understand, rule number one, not all market participants are created equal. Okay? And this is one area where I will tell you size matters. All right. Not all participants in the market have the same wherewithal, have the same capacity, and not all market participants can move markets. So I would submit to you that it's very important for us to be able to identify when the key participants, the players that are able to move the markets, come into the market. Would you agree with that? All right. Do you know of any technical charts or any other tool out there that's available at your disposal that can identify for me when a big player has entered the market to move the market? Are any of you familiar with the term smart money? Do you have a smart dollar in your pocket?
Magazine.
I'm sorry?
Smart Money magazine.
Smart Money magazine, all right. What is smart money? Big players, okay. What makes them so smart? Just because they have money, they're smart?
They have the ability to influence price.
Okay, that is correct. They have the ability to influence price. And by our definition, that makes them smart. All right. The reason that they're referred to as smart money is because they know what is going to happen in the market. They have information that we don't have, and that's why they are smarter. Now, we become smart if we can identify what other smart people are doing and follow in their footsteps. And one thing I will tell you, by their sheer size, those large participants, when they come into the market, leave a very visible footprint. And our job is to try to follow in their footsteps. All right, so just to review the answers to our three questions, there is a definite order and structure to all, and I want to emphasize, all financial markets. None of them are random. Not all market participants are, in fact, created equal, and don't you forget that. There are some players that are much, much more powerful than others. Number three, actual market activity is the best indicator for what the market is likely to do. Almost every platform today has a whole host of different indicators. And I have seen many charts where half the page is a bunch of different indicators. Every indicator out there is a lagging indicator, meaning that it collects data and then tries to interpret the data. The most accurate indicator is current market activity. If I can detect from current market activity what is going on in the market, that becomes incredibly powerful information in my hands.